like to talk to you. If you're just very new to meditation, you've never done it, but you feel that there is some kind of curiosity, an interest, maybe you're willing to try now that you have time at home. How does it feel to meditate? Do those people sleep? How come they sit straight if they sleep? Well, one question at a time. You will see that when you start watching your breathing, by breathing I mean inhale and exhale, your mind stays very active. You suddenly register all the thoughts that come in and out, that come into the mind and then leave the mind. And you just don't have time to watch the breathing because there is so much to do. And there is so many errors that you have to think through that may have been in the past. So, how do you watch breathing? Well, I'm going to explain to you. We're going to practice. And remember, every journey, which is so long, for some people it's lifelong, begins with a single step. Every baby that learns to walk falls and gets up, falls and gets up. So I think we're ready to start now. So the first thing today, I'm going to ask you to sit with both of your feet down. Try sitting on a chair maybe, because it might be most available to you. But I'd like you to sit down. I don't want you to be sitting on a special cushion or on a floor. That's not what meditation is about. We can discuss the sitting. Later. The most important thing is your position of your mind, in your mind. So, mind is your doorway to the world, to everything that happened to you and everything that will happen to you will have to come through your senses. And your senses and the input from the senses is processed in your brain. Mind is something different than the brain, but that's not time for it. Some people just said, let's get going. So meditation is a form of observation, nothing more, and definitely not a judgment. I also wanted to tell you that you cannot do meditation wrong. The fact that you started, it's really a very promising thing. So let's go back to your breath. In the first exercise, I would like you to watch your breath. And by breath, I mean inhale and exhale. So 2 parts of your breath. And your natural breath, that's the breathing that you are using right now to watch this video, is best place to start. So let's go through 5 breaths, and I'm going to count them and check it if you would assess your breath as fast, slow, or neutral. Nothing is good or bad, it's just I'm looking for this particular quality of the breath. Let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. How was it? Was it easy to focus on your breath? Was there something else happening? Something disturbing you in watching the breath? We'll come to that later. Let's now look for the second quality of your breath. By breath, I mean inhale and exhale. Let's take 5 of our regular breaths and let's look whether we think that they are shallow or deep. And I don't have to tell you what's the definition of shallow or deep. I will leave it up to you. You know how your deep breathing looks like. So natural breathing, let's start with an inhale. I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If there is a moment that you forgot to observe your shallow breath or deep breath, and your eyes were wandering at something that needs to be done right after you listened to me, then I would advise you to maybe have your eyes half closed, so you will be looking at where the floor and the wall meets or at the ground. Or if this is difficult for you and you feel that you can't, that takes too much of your attention, you can just basically close your eyes, not slam them, but close them very gently and focus on your breath. I'm now going to give you the third quality of the breath that you can observe. Try to do your best to observe your breath as you inhale and exhale, which is called the breathing cycle. So let's look whether those two lengths are the same or one is shorter and one is longer. Again, there is no right way, there is your way. Let's get counting, please. So let's have the eyes closed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do the last round. And on each breath, inhalation, breath in, you are going to observe whatever you feel is coming to your mind, whether it will be the speed, the depth, or the length. Let's see how this goes. It doesn't matter, the order doesn't matter. So our last 5 conscious breaths will start right now. Your eyes are either closed or you're looking at the floor. Half closed eyes. Let's get going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bet you that when you were observing the qualities of your breath, there was something else going in your mind that was not helping you observing your breath. What is it? Can you think about it for a sec? Yes, it was a chatter. It was, in a way, your mind was talking to you, or you were talking to yourself, as some people say. That's the nature of the mind. It doesn't want to leave you alone. It always talks to you. And you listen, and you listen, and you react, and you listen. And you say, I just can't watch my breathing. I just have to listen to my mind. And if you want to do meditation, there are few tools that I can describe to you that might help you with that. But I want to prepare you. Your mind is going to fight back extremely hard. You will not have clear mind for a very long time. So one of the things is, imagine that your mind is a sky with the clouds. And what happens when there is a slight wind? The clouds go. They come out of nowhere, sometimes from the left, sometimes from the right. They stay a little bit, and they go to the other side. And then you see a glimpse of blue sky. And they come again, and then you see the glimpse. So whenever a thought comes that has to deal with something that needs to be done, needs to be looked at, just treat it as a cloud. Just let it pass. Don't wait for it to pass, but just, that's not your business to watch the clouds. So basically you give yourself permission not to pay attention to the clouds. But the plus is that it's the first time, maybe in your life, to observe your brain in action. That's your silent companion that's telling you the truth. And very often, what the mind tells you is not objective reality. That's the whole problem. We believe what our mind tells us at the moment. And we start to believe in it. But believing into something and being convinced of something requires a little bit more investigation. We aim today at having a slow session, our first session. Have you discovered something? Do you feel there is difference? I'm going to end this session today with a little exercise for you that also deals with breathing. It is so commonly used as a tool for beginning your meditation session. So I would like you to observe where in your body you feel the breathing the most, whether it's the tip of your nose, whether it's behind your eyes, whether you sense that your chest is rising or opening, or maybe it's in your belly. Again, there is no correct place. All I want to do is to know that your job is to observe the breathing and not observe your mind. Your mind will disturb you. Don't look for a perfect session, but even one breath that you feel, I've done it, would be a victory for you. As I said at the beginning, every journey begins with the first step. So now, let's check out the feeling of our inhale. So the first portion of the breathing cycle, and see where it feels the most. People have different feelings. It typically doesn't move throughout the process, and the sensation is the strongest. It's not important what you feel, it's where you feel. I'm going to count to 10 so that I'll give you ample time to analyze your sensations. Let's start now. Eyes looking at the floor or closed if it's available to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How was it? Did you feel a special place in your body? For me, it's always tip of my nose. That's where I feel it first, a cooling sensation. And if you couldn't decide where it's the strongest, that's okay. Remember, have you ever had a puppy that you were training not to climb on the sofa? Were you successful in the first time you told your puppy, don't go on that sofa? Well, that's your mind. Let's continue training with another session next week. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you will have a beautiful day.